where the water shines silver and blue. I was thinking about a big fish below me, and I never knew. You know, I never been a dreamer. I spent my life chasing my dreams down. I wasn't gonna change. I'd die before I would settle down. But the dreams I've seen lately keep on turning out, burning out, turning out to say, so put me on a river, show me the sign, take it to the limit one more time. You can spend all your time making money, or you can spend it having one hell of a time. If it all falls to pieces tomorrow, you know that I'll be just fine. When you're looking for your freedom, most folks don't even dare to step outside the door. They spend their whole lives in fear. When there's nothing to believe in, just remember me as wild and free. You know that you can be the same. So put me on a river, show me a sign, take it to the limit one more time. Take it to the limit. Ooh, take it to the limit. Ooh, take it to the limit one more time. All right, there's a song.
Awesome.
And here's what I had to say. It's a little wordy. I'll try and get through it quick. Try not to cry like I did all the other times I tried to get through it. What the hell? The hell's going on? That's what Ted used to say to me. I say, what the hell did we just lose? It wasn't just a man, a father, a fishing buddy, a friend. I've lost all of those, and somehow this one is just so different. In the words of Ted Wilson himself, there just ain't no way to describe it. And there certainly is no way to describe Ted. He defies definition. He was old school, but he was anything but old. He was a man's man, but also a ladies' man. He was healthy and headstrong, stubborn as a mule, rough on the edges, but he was also good-natured and fun. Refined, well-read, well-dressed, tidy, sharp as a tack. His forerunner and his hairstyle were always perfect. He always had a clean white towel to rub the road goo off his fingers and hand sanitizer in the back of his truck. If he liked it, he ate it, and he ate it all, and he had dessert afterwards. And I gotta go catch me a goddamn fish, Mark. And with or without me, off he went. Nothing stopped Ted. He dug his way into and out of Stampede in the ice and snow, or drove 12 hours straight through the night to fish the Coconut or the Applegate with his friend Paul Pearson, the Weasel. If he needed money, he built the fence, pruned rose bushes, detailed the car, raised hell in the casinos, cussing and yelling at those machines and banging and beating on them until they coughed up a winning ticket for him to cash out and get the hell out of Dodge. I'm on a mission and I got no time for no bullshit. I'm here for one thing only. That's to pay for my trip and my new rods to Barrie. He would say on his way out the door. Ted lived life to the fullest. He was always off on an adventure like some modern-day Daniel Boone, running with Indian guides in the Pacific Northwest rainforest chasing giant steelhead, or running from bleep, 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 bleep below Paradise Beach after battling and breaking off a monster striper in the American River. He was resourceful as hell, too, despite having no computer and still using a flip phone and Rolodex into 2018. He always had friends, though, some of questionable character and others like us whom he could rely on and who served as connections to the real world. And I say that with quotes, real. He didn't blink, stutter, wait, hesitate, or ever need to try and explain himself while following his passion. He just went and did it. Sometimes in his efforts to outdo me or even life itself, he would say or do things that would piss me off so much that I'd disown him for 6 months or even years at a time. But somehow Ted always managed to find his way back into my life, into my heart. Ted was far too prideful to admit any wrongdoing, though, and too tough to talk about feelings, and he damn sure wasn't going to issue any apologies. Well, I hated that about him, but I also absolutely respected it. Ted wasn't totally oblivious about it either. He had his way of apologizing without words. He'd come over bearing gifts, REI rain pants, or some new shoes or something that didn't fit him quite right, and he thought I might could use them. There was also just something about Ted that reeled me back in, like a tired damn fish, to his good graces. It wasn't that I needed anything from him. I just didn't want to not follow him. You follow me? Yes, Ted, I follow you, man. We all do. Ted just had that unnameable, unquantifiable, indescribable zest for life that you always wanted to be a part of, or at least be privy to. If you weren't there, you were missing out on the fishing, on the excitement, on giants, monster steelhead, magnificent upriver brights, tearing up the goddamn river, past Sinker Joe and Teacher Dave and all them other goofy bastards. Blam! Blam! You should have seen them tearing up the river, I tell you. Every December, just like clockwork, he'd appear like a ghost, or like Warden Allen Weingarten, as if out of thin air. Sometimes he wouldn't even show up, but I knew he had been at the Nimbus Basin because I could see a trail of egg juice and that damn unmistakable orange thread on the clay bank up and around the alder tree on the knoll where he would walk the bank below the cliffs like a cat and get away from all the sniffs and snaggers and tule dippers who tried in vain to catch his big early winter steelhead. Ted Wilson was a smart man, a smart gambler, a master carpenter, and one hell of a fisherman, but I think his ability to tell a story might well have been his greatest skill of all. Something about that Midwestern drawl, the inflections in his voice, his high-pitched laughter, his twinkle blue eyes, and his Mark Twainian pronunciations of words like describing a squid's tentacles. Ted's stories were always intense, always colorful, and like the man himself, always larger than life, filled with enthusiasm and excitement that was infectious and contagious. If you weren't there, you missed out, and you damn sure wanted to be there the next time. The American River is my connection to Ted. Ted had been fishing it since my father was in kindergarten. He was there in its heyday when the river ran free from its three forks in the headwaters all the way to the ocean. In spring and salmon, in summer, steelhead choked the waters from April till December. There were no lakes, no dams, no shortages of fish, much less any endangered species. I got a much later start on the AR, but I made up for lost time, logging more than 50,000 fishing hours over the last 20 years. Ted was one of the few people, even among my peers, who could keep up with me and or who was adventurous or crazy enough to chase stripers with me in the middle of the night. Down below the 80 Bridge, of course. Moscat. I always thought I'd sit down with Ted. I always thought I'd sit down with Ted someday and pen out a book on the history of the American River, or on his life as a pioneer steelheader on the coast of California. The problem with that is Ted was too busy still living the dream, and it didn't look like a time to sit back and reflect on the good old days or how things used to be was anywhere in his foreseeable future. I spoke with Ted just 2 days before that fateful phone call, and then the night before his final fishing trip, he left a message on my phone about chasing stripers one last time at the island before they headed out to San Francisco Bay. I was absolutely stunned when I got that call. I cried like a baby, and I felt like a huge chunk had been ripped from my soul. I still feel as though we've all been cheated out of an ever-unfolding and ever greater untold story that Ted most surely would have told. Ted was a great friend who just weeks before offered to help me build a shed in my backyard and refused payment because, in his words, "You're my friend and friends don't charge friends." He'd also built my sister's fence in Modesto this summer for practically nothing. Ted was so much more than a friend, though. He was a legend, a legacy, a link to the past, a living time capsule, a walking, talking, breathing, chronological history of this watershed in my backyard that is so near and dear to my heart. Ted shared a love of this river and its life. He also represented even greater ideals like hope, joy, passion, laughter, fearlessness, health, fitness, and what I, and I'm sure you all believed, was immortality. You know, when I think about it, though, the joke's on us. We're all still left here behind in the rat race. Ted isn't sad. He has no regrets. He left his cards all out on the table. He gathered every perk and jackpot, ate the Chilean sea bass, left his flip phone by the door, and didn't even wait to flush the last of the flu germs from his chest before he took one last midnight ride to the casino and into the stampede of magnificent rainbows. Some say he fell in. I'd like to think he dove in and he just kept going. And we should just smile and envy him, because wherever he goes, he's sure to cause a ruckus, get into all kinds of trouble, make people laugh, piss people off, have all kinds of fun, and have one hell of a story to tell about it all when he's done. God damn it, Ted. I love you, man. And I'm going to miss you. All right.
That was great.
Yeah, really good. Do we got time for one more song? You got, all right. I mean, I don't. All right. Let's see. Well, we would, but I didn't bring it. Oh wait. There we go. Ah. Been through some things together, with trunks of memories I thought were still to come. We found fish in stormy weather. Long may you run, long may you run, long may you run. Although these changes have come, chrome art shine in the sun. Long may you run. It was back in this river in 1962 that I saw you live, but we missed that shift on the long decline. Long may chrome steel head shining in the sun. Long may you run. Maybe the Beach Boys have got you now, with those waves singing Carolina, rolling down to the empty ocean. Get to the water on time. Long may you run, long may you run. Although these changes have come, with your chrome art shine in the sun. Long may you run. Well, I just tell you, man, I spent a lot of hours with Ted. Never was, is, or ever will be a character as colorful, crazy, all the above, you know, as Ted. And yeah, you know, even losing my dad was really sick when I lost my dad, and it was expected, you know. He had COPD, asthma, all kinds of crap, you know, and of course I was sad. But when Ted died, it just seemed so wrong. You know, he wasn't gonna die, man. I mean, I literally thought the guy would live to be 130, you know. I mean, crazy. But you just never know. I think what we can take from all of this, or from this, is man, if I could take just like about 25% of Ted's zeal and zest for life and force it into mine, then I think I'll be you know, his life would not have been in vain, because it'll inspire me to be the best I can be and take life by the horns and do it, you know. Anyway, all right, enough speech stuff. I think that we're going to go ahead and put Ted, the physical part that's here, where he belongs, with his soul and his spirit. And thanks for you guys and gals showing up. And love you all. Love you, Ted. All right.
Well, I'm over here at the Truckee River, another place that Teddy liked to fish. Put some of them over here.
One more time.